Hello, I'm Veles, welcome to Infernal Thunder, and in this video we are going to talk about egregores and tulpas. What are they, their history in terminology, in magic, and how to avoid them. I hope you will enjoy. So, first, what an egregore is and what tulpa is. Egregore is a thought form that arises from a collective. That is something that a collective believes in. If they believe that there is a deity named Laptop and that it is the god of sun, but it is not primordial deity, that deity will probably be born as an egregoric form in astral, to put it in those words. And according to some practices, it does have mind of itself and it can evolve, but what I've seen in my practice and others, not mine so much, and I will explain what why I say not mine. I cannot guarantee 100% for this, but what other people said about me and what I've known is that they do not have mind of themselves. They are behaving as what the collective thinks they are. Now, what is a tulpa? Tulpa is something that in modern occultism, especially in witch talk, TikTok, and our community as modern, is interpreted very wrong. Everyone is talking you are working with egregores, because that is just by definition wrong. Because what you think an egregore is, that is tulpa. Tulpa is a thought form that arises from someone working with what they think of deity. That form of what they think the deity is, it forms in astral. It does take a long time to form, and I do think in the beginning discernment is disturbed, and later on it becomes real thing and it starts messing with your life. Basically, to give an example, it would be as if you would take King Belial, for example, and you would slap on him that he is emotional god of light that likes to hug people. That is not Belial. I respect and love King Belial, but that is not him. And if someone is 100% sure that is who Belial is, that for them that is the truth. But what I think of this is also that sometimes, I think most of the times, it's not tulpa. It's a deity acting as the practitioner wants for in order for them to feed off of it. And I think this is what just my gnosis, that the real deities can absorb the energy given to the tulpa or even egregore that arises from the collect. A little about history of egregores. In the Book of Enoch, egregores are literally the watchers. Word egregore, in I will have it somewhere here on the screen, in Greek is used as the awake ones, the watchers. They are the group of angels, the watchers, Samyaza, Samael, Azazel, etc. In manuscript of Sargaza, I think I butchered the pronunciation. They are used, well, basically the same, but not as beings, but more as a philosophical concept that derives from the Book of Enoch. I'm now going to read you some other definitions of the word, of the entity, the word, whatever you prefer. Spiritual elite, the awake among humans. Julius Evola uses the term egregores for the spiritual elite, these who are awake, which is the original meaning of the word. These awakened individuals preserve tradition in a world declining into dependence. Collective consciousness and group mind, which is base form. Rane Guenon, Gnosis magazine, Olevo de Carvalho egregore, psychic entity of a group, religious, ideological, etc. Collective energy created by shared belief and action. Eliphas Levi was the first to use the word in this context, so that is where word derives from. Magical being arising from collective mind. Egregores can evolve from thought forms into semi-autonomous beings, which are aware, have consciousness of their own. Kate Strong, Annie Bearsnot, leader beater symbols and ideas that become alive in the collective psyche, related to the concept of tulpa, a thought form that gains a real form, which I personally do not believe, but I do believe in servitors, which should be some other video. Meditations of the Tarot and Dark Side of Egregores. Egregore, a demon created by the collective will of nations. The Antichrist is described as a collective egregore from humanity's subconsciousness. There is no good egregores are ultimately destructive to their creators. Gary Lanchman, Pope the Frog as an egregore. Pope the Frog, modern egregore from internet culture. An egregore helps the group but demands constant energy like sacrifice. I do believe that there are egregores like this, like concept of modern deities, and those are like Slenderman, Jeff the Killer, and other kinds of things that there are in collective, maybe exist, maybe not, but are probably in astral created because of so many people believing them. And I am not sure, someone once told me that they've met Dracula as an entity, but I do believe it was just an egregore, or they just straight out lied to me. Chaos Magic Peter Carroll, egregore, psychic fields connected to spaces of living beings. The human egregore, what many describe as God. All life contributes to and depends on vast composite egregores. Frater Temperis existence beyond creators. Egregore, spiritual entity that starts as a thought form but gains independent will. Gods, thought form that become egregores through centuries of worship. Theological perspective. Egregores are mental astral entities connected to places and groups. They are not living beings but have their own premise. I would say that this is also true, as egregore is not just that it is created. Any action can create egregore. Every single thought that you have can create egregore, which sometimes when people say they have lesser demons, lesser jinn, some any kind of spirit in their house which they moved into, I do believe that a lot of times that is an leftover energy, that is an egregore from all the negative energy that already was in that house. And I do believe that it can lead and cause the same actions that it derives from, so it can feed on those actions, energy of the actions. Gunanon's distance. Gwenon did not like the term egregores, but he described similar phenomena as collective forces that arise from a community. According to him, prayers often go through the collective entity. This was more of a by the book. So now I'm going to talk about how to avoid egregores in my experience. Personally, before working with any deity or being certain that they are reaching out, or when I want to reach out, I first worship the deity, leave it offerings, or if it is type of deity that likes to be prayed to, I pray to the deity, look for the signs. Because in my perspective that you cannot create an egregore from soul worship of a deity. You leave offering to Lord Lucifer, to La Santa Muerte, to Belial, to Odin, Loki, whoever, and you just say this goes to Loki, and Loki is going to get the offering, and there is much more chance that in first session that you set up and want to start working with the said deity is that deity will show up. Now, I do think that a lot of times when people think they are working with egregores, is that their discernment is really this sort. In terms of maybe the deity is trying to help you, but your desire and your projection onto a deity is so strong that it affects your tool of divination, and you hear and get what you want. But that can also be straight up egregore, so that is also one trick. If a deity gives you and tells you whatever you want to hear, that is almost 100% egregore. Another option is that the deity is feeding off your energy, and that is not good whatsoever. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you are in need of rune or tarot readings, the links are in description of this video, and I occasionally, well, almost every night do, well, night for me, but almost every day do lives, tarot and rune readings on my TikTok. But if you want to book a session with me, the links are in bio. Till the next time.